All right, Chris, we're here. We're right here.
Here.
We're right here.
We're here.
We are right here.
We're here.
We're right here.
We're aligned.
We are right here at training camp. I don't know if you can tell behind us, but Bryce Young's warming up.
Today is his birthday. As we're recording this, today is Bryce Young's birthday. Happy birthday, Bryce Young.
Well,
happy birthday.
To celebrate the birthday, let's get this sucker started.
Happy birthday to you.
The state of North Carolina covers 53,000 square miles. It is the habitat of the feared Carolina Panthers. Get dialed in, Panthers fans, for an in-depth look at your team, exclusive interviews, locker room insight. Let's huddle up for Panthers Playbook. Here are your hosts, Dennis Cox and Chris Lea.
Welcome back to another episode of Panthers Playbook. That's Chris Lea, Dennis Cox here with you. We are at Panthers Training Camp Day 2. Day 2. And Chris, Day 1 yesterday, you had a chance to talk to Robert Hunt one-on-one. We'll have that interview for you coming up here exclusively here on Panthers Playbook. And Jadeveon Sanders, talking about a revamped offense. We saw Dionate Johnson, wide receiver. We got to figure out, got a taste of what his role is truly going to be on this Panthers team this year.
Yesterday, first day of training camp, as we're recording this, Dave Canales confirmed that Dionate Johnson will be the featured receiver.
Yeah.
We kind of figured that would be the case.
Sure.
But to get that confirmation is big. And he said he's going to move around. He can be X, Y, or Z. He can move around. Other guys will kind of have to find their roles. And one of the things I thought was very interesting in watching Bryce Young and Dionate Johnson, they're already getting a little bit of chemistry. There's one part where Bryce Young rolled out of the pocket. He was getting pressure a little bit by Caleb Chason, and he heaves it up. Dionate Johnson comes in, catches it out of bounds, goes out of bounds after that. Beautiful catch and throw. Would have been a first down if this was a real NFL game.
Sure.
And it was just a beautiful display, and I just hope that same chemistry can continue to build as the season goes along.
And once they actually start putting pads on full, because they're just in helmets today like they were yesterday, but once they start getting the pads on, it's like, all right, that real pressure in your face. Yes. How's the offensive line going to hold up? How are things going to be done in terms of what personnel is going to look like to help protect Bryce? Because we saw last year it was a complete disaster.
Yes.
Complete and total disaster.
Yes.
So it's not only just the fact that Bryce Young has to play better, but everything around him has evolved and it's changed, and Dave Canales seems like he's got this team going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And it's probably a different vibe than what you saw last year with Frank Reich.
It's interesting, like, it's training camp, so everybody's 0-0 and nobody's lost yet and all that, so everybody's excited.
Yeah.
I think the real vibe test is going to come at the end of September, at the beginning of October. By the time we get to bye week, when we get to November, that is the real vibe check. But as of right now, things are looking good. Things are looking on an up and up. Then it's going to be, just going out there and executing when the season actually comes. One of the things I think is very different from last year is that there's a very clear plan as far as when installation is happening.
Yeah.
And so Dave Canales told us also, first 8 practices, by the time we get to that, we are completely installed. Then it's just basically a slow build from there and how we just kind of tune things up. That is a little different from some of the things that we heard last year. So it's kind of cool to kind of hear that, see what the plan is, and to know that there is a clear path for the Carolina Panthers. Now they just have to get on the field and execute.
Speaking of that clear plan, 2 weeks from today is their first preseason game. 2 weeks from today is their first preseason game, Chris. So that plan, we're going to see part of it very, very soon.
Here's the interesting thing about that. Remember last year we saw the preseason games. They didn't look very good at all.
No, they did not.
And we were just like, it's preseason.
It's preseason.
Frank Reich was like, we haven't done you haven't brought out everything.
It's all vanilla.
It's vanilla. And then we found out that everything was vanilla once the season started. Like, everything was vanilla. So I'm not going to put too much stake in that first preseason game. At the same time, though, I'm going to put some stake in that first preseason game.
I want to see something.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to see something.
Like, I want to at least see the offense under Bryce Young, move the ball, and maybe like 2 drives.
Yeah.
Just move the ball. I don't necessarily need to see scores. Move the ball, get me into some scoring territory, get me within the field goal range or whatever, and look like you're confident in doing that. And that's the main thing I think I'll be looking for.
And also part of that is the protection for him, right? Because we saw this the second preseason or second snap of that first preseason game last year. Bryce Young gets drilled.
Yes.
Absolutely drilled from the back. And I was like, oh, that was an omen
Yes.
that we should have expected. Speaking of guys that are going to help protect Bryce Young, you had a chance to speak one-on-one yesterday with Robert Hunt. You had a chance to speak yesterday one-on-one with Robert Hunt. Here's that conversation.
All right, you see the size difference right here. I don't think I can make any NFL team anytime soon. We have Robert Hunt here with us for the Carolina Panthers. First year, and you, of course, brought here to help protect Bryce Young. He took 62 sacks last year. Your guy last year, Tua Tagovailoa, only took 29 sacks. What part are you going to play in that to help keep Bryce Young upright this year?
Man, here to just do a job, you know what I mean? Do my job, man. I'm here, I protect people. That's how I play football, to be a lineman. That's what I'm here, got brought here to do, man. So do my job, you know what I mean, do the best of my ability, set the line of scrimmage for him, man, so he can be able to step up in the pocket and make plays.
This team is going through a lot of transition over the last couple of years, and part of the transition is also bringing some new faces. What have you seen so far with this team as far as what's building here, what Dave Canales has set forth, and what do you think you guys could possibly accomplish with what the pieces are that you have right now? Man,
I like what we got, man. I think we got a bunch of guys here that's hungry, that want to win, that want to change what happened last year. You know what I mean? Last year, it's a whole new day, man. Like today starts a whole new day for us, a whole new year for us. So it's a new team, man. It's a new outlook. Coach Canales is great, man, and he cares about the players. The players cares about him, man. I think this program is on the right track.
It feels like, the last couple of weeks, there's so many different podcasts, people coming out talking so highly about Coach Canales and who he is. Like words like he's a positivity bully or whatever Baker Mayfield said and what other people were talking about. What has your experience been with him? Is he that positive? How positive is he? One of the more positive people you've been around?
Yes, he is. He definitely is, and I love him. It's like almost like a therapy session, but not a therapy session. I mean, like he always brings the points that you learn in therapy. He brings it out and he says it to the team. That's what I love. I think a lot of guys love it, man, and we can ask for a better coach, man.
Bryce seems to be a really positive guy too, with especially like how high he's been up. He's been somebody that's been on top since high school. Last year had a down year. He still seems upbeat and everything. What have you learned about Bryce through this offseason?
I like Bryce, man. Young cat. Hungry, want to be good, man. That's all you got to ask for in this league, man. If you want to be good, you know what I mean? You got the pieces around you, do what you got to do, you can be good. And he want to be good, man. And you can tell that he's a leader. He's young, man, but I like what I see from him, man. I think we're in good hands with Bryce as the QB.
As far as this area, has Charlotte helped embrace you? Have you gotten to Cookout and Bojangles a lot since you've been here?
Not Cookout. Went to Bojangles, wasn't a fan.
Really?
Wasn't a fan, man.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan.
More of a Popeyes guy?
I'm taking Popeyes of Bojangles, me personally. But no, man, it's been great, man. I've hanging out, found some really good food spots for camp, man. Charlotte's dope, man. Me and my family, we love it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us here. Robert Hunt here for the Carolina Panthers, and it's going to have a good year for him. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Chris, Robert Hunt's a big individual.
Big guy.
He's a massive human being.
It's I made the joke to you that it looks like if he wanted to, he could literally have me inside of his body polish. But like that's how huge this guy is. And I'm not necessarily I'm not a tall guy. 5'9", not a tall guy. But I weigh 220 pounds. Okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm like running back territory.
Yeah,
here.
Yeah, you're right there. You're right there.
And so
you're right here.
I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here.
You're right here.
And that
Robert
guy,
Hunt was right here. He was right.
It was this.
He was all that.
It was all that.
He's all that.
Yes, it was a lot.
But this offense is definitely going to evolve.
You see who's behind us, by the way.
Oh,
you see who's behind us, by the way.
See Carolina Blitz, crashing Panthers playbook right now. You know. But now the questions are, let's transition to the defensive side of the ball. There's still injuries with, obviously, Jadeveon Clowney's healthy, K'Lavon Chaison's healthy, but still injuries with Amari Barno, DJ Wanham. There's a lot of guys they're bringing in to training camp right now to try out as edge rushers.
So the DJ Wanham part is the one that's the most concerning because essentially he is, I don't want to say the one-for-one replacement, but he's the guy that you look at when Brian Burns is gone. He's not going to be Brian Burns, so I'm not going to put that expectation out there. But he's technically that guy that they brought in to replace him, right? Jadeveon Clowney is basically going to play the other side and try to open things up for Wanham. So now there's going to be some guys coming in. So there's a list of guys. I know Yannick Ngakoue was the guy I wanted them to bring in last year to help out Brian Burns, and I thought that would have been cool too. But
Carl Lawson
is coming up. Also Marquise Haynes. And
who's been with the Panthers for 6 years?
Kimiko Toure, I think. Let me make sure I have the names right. Kimiko Toure.
Okay.
And so they're working out those four guys to see what's happening. That's something that they're going to need anyway. But even before we found out about DJ Wanham not being put on PUP list, we were still saying they need a little bit more pass
Still
rush.
need something there.
Because, Kayvon Chason is on a prove-it deal right now, former first-round pick. And come through, Sheena Quick. Say hello to the people.
Sheena Quick rolling through as well.
And, we said that they're probably going to need a little bit more because, again, there isn't a one-for-one replacement for Brian Burns. And so I'm glad that this is there. I thought they should have already re-signed Marquis Haynes, honestly.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that he's going to get a shot. He's shown before when he's healthy, he can really help out pass rushing on the other side, but he's not the feature guy. He's one of the backup guys. Somebody like Yannick Ngakoue, 69 sacks in 8 years in the NFL.
Nice.
He's somebody who can. It's very, very nice.
Very nice.
I mean, he's here.
He's right here.
He's here.
He's right here at training
He's
camp.
here.
Trying
He's
out.
here.
He's here.
He's right here.
Right here.
He's right here. He's a line. And so hopefully he can come to the Carolina Panthers and maybe have 79 by the end of the year. That would be cool.
Hey,
that would be really
awesome.
cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's a guy that has been in the NFL for a while, that obviously can contribute on the field.
Yes.
He's proven that throughout his career.
Yes.
And I think he's just kind of waiting for that right opportunity to just make sure that he gets in the right spot in order to, contribute. I mean, these like veteran guys that have contributed are always floating around at the beginning of training camp. It's like teams get to training camp like, yeah, we actually do need this. Let's start calling these guys.
Yes.
I think that's really when these things actually really start to happen. But there's a lot of pressure on that defense to up their pressure, because look at their sack percentage last year. I know total of sacks was down overall because less opportunity to sack the quarterback because teams were running the ball because they had a lead.
Right.
So if you go to
Right.
sack percentage,
Right.
so the number of times drop back,
Right.
what's the percentage of sacks?
Still bad.
31st in the NFL.
Yeah, still bad.
31st in the NFL.
Still bad.
And your top edge rusher is no longer here. That, to me, that actually puts a lot more emphasis on Derek Brown to get to the quarterback from the interior, A'Shawn Robinson to put pressure from the interior.
Which, speaking of big guys,
Big guy.
A'Shawn.
Big guy.
A'Shawn's here.
He's scary.
He
He
is.
is scary.
He is. That's one of those guys where, like, if you run into him in the street and you have a problem with him, solve the problem
Good luck.
or go the other way.
Well, good luck. Good luck.
And I hope you have 4.4 speed.
He still might run you down.
He probably
He
can
still
catch up to
might
you.
Run you down.
Probably can catch up to you.
So there's a lot of new faces on this team, and especially with the young rookies that were brought in to help Bryce Young. So we obviously Xavier Leggett brought in a couple drops yesterday. He even talked about yesterday that he wants to add a little bit more in terms of or emphasis towards the small details of
Yes,
things.
yes.
Which I love hearing that from a rookie, like right away. It doesn't have to be told. He said it himself. Still waiting on Jonathan Brooks to get healthy. But another guy that might contribute, might slowly build in, Jadeveon Sanders as a tight end. Saw a lot of Ian Thomas, Tommy Tremble was like the 1-2. But Jadeveon Sanders might be a guy that eventually comes in and is that pass-catching tight end that the Panthers have lacked since Greg Olsen.
That's true. I mean, he's getting some special team reps right now, but you can see that this is probably going to be a little bit of a slow build for him. I would probably expect him towards the end of the season get a little bit more burn, but he's somebody who's excited because you know what you called him just now, right? What did you just call him?
What?
You called him a pass
catching.
tight
Yeah,
end.
pass-catching tight end.
I spoke to him yesterday one-on-one. He wants it to be known he can do everything.
Okay.
Here's the interview. All right, here with one of the newest Carolina Panthers, Jadeveon Sanders, who, of course, taken in the 4th round for the Carolina Panthers this year. And big things a lot of fans are expecting from you from that tight end position. But first is just getting acclimated. So first day of training camp, how's this offseason been for you just getting acclimated to the NFL?
It's been good. I got a lot of great guys in the room, a lot of experience in that room, like Jordan and Ian and then Tommy too. They've been like I appreciate them guys. You know what I'm saying? They brought me along so much, and I'm really thankful for that. And I'm just excited to see what we're gonna do this year.
Tommy and Ian, they've had some success on this team recently, and they've been doing a good job as well. Like, what's it been like just learning just from those guys in particular, not only just about the ins and outs of the game, but also just about Charlotte?
Facts. For one, being a pro, you know what I'm saying? Ian's been in the league, this is his 8th year, I think, so he knows how to be a pro on and off the field. So I try to do little things, ask him questions, you know what I'm saying, just try to pick his brain a little bit. I really still haven't got to experience Charlotte yet, you know what I'm saying. I'm still trying to get acclimated to the city for sure.
All right, speaking of getting acclimated, we keep hearing a lot about Dave Canales recently being optimist bully, painfully optimistic and painfully positive, those types of things. What has your big experience been with him as far as his positivity and what kind of energy does he give the team?
He brings great energy, you know what I'm saying. when you look at Coach Canales, he's what you want in a coach. You know what I'm saying? He's a player's coach. He connects with the players real well, and it shows. And I think that's going to help to our success this year.
With the system that he's bringing here, how do you fit in with your skill set?
I feel like I fit in perfect. If you look at the rest of the guys, there's not one of us who can't do something that the other one can't. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty all even. So I think we're all going to play a significant role in our offense.
One of the things that it was part of your scouting report coming out of college is that you're more of a receiving tight end versus a blocking tight end. But you could do it all, you just said. So, you know, that's part of the game, especially with the run-heavy team. You ready for all the blocking as well?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I came from a run-first offense, Sark. If you watch our game, we run the ball like a mug. So it's nothing new I can handle.
Speaking of running, your guy, Jonathan Brooks, still trying to get healthy. What have you seen from him getting healthy this year so far?
Just a different side of him, you know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people have that mindset to stay on the grind after an injury. You know, a lot of people get lackadaisical, but I can tell he wants to come back, and it shows. Like, his treatment has been going so well since we were still in school, since the injury, and I can't wait for that man to get back. All
quarterbacks are different. What type of ball does Bryce throw, and how have you been able to kind of get on the same page with him? How has it been like working with Bryce Young as well?
It's been good. You know what I'm saying? He's like a different QB. When I say that, I mean like just like smartness. If you get what I'm saying, like he's a real smart QB, and I appreciate that, and it shows. Like it just shows how he throws the ball, how he reads the defenses, etc.
All right, sounds good. You haven't had a chance to see Charlotte much, but hopefully you've had a chance to have Bojangles or Cookout. Have you had those?
Actually, I had Bojangles once at the airport.
Okay.
And it was I ain't had cookout yet, but Bojangles, it was
more of a Popeyes guy.
Yeah, Popeyes.
Okay, all right. You know that's usually the case when people don't like Bojangles. But thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you a lot of luck this season.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Chris, I'm excited about the young talent that was brought in. I'm excited about the young talent that was brought in, including Jadeveon Sanders. Hopefully, the young guys that brought in offensively, along with Bryce, Icky, Kwanu, that young group grows and builds together as the core of the offense moving forward.
We were talking about how big Robert Hunt is.
Yeah.
You know, he's here.
Yeah, Deshaun Robinson's right here.
Jadeveon Sanders is a pretty tall guy. He's not huge in body mass, but he has huge hands, man. Like literally, like literally frying pan hands.
Okay.
So when that ball comes this way, he better be catching everything.
Hopefully he does. Make sure you are locked in here on Panthers Playbook, because we're going to have another episode for you all next week.
Are you here?
We're going to make sure that you're right here. So leave comments down below. Let us know that you're right here.
But are you here, though?
Bro, are you here?
If you see us at training camp, let us know.
Let us know that you're right here. See you next time.